Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Productive Wellbeing Show. It's episode 95 with me, your host, Abigail Barnes. And this is day 7 of our 12 days of Christmas. And today I'm joined by Cartoon Rich. I'm so excited to have a cartoonist, a caricaturist, and a sales trainer who draws usually at live events and creates work from photos, but has totally had to pivot his business this year in 2020. So we're going to have an awesome conversation. As always, if you are watching us live, let us know in the comments. If you're watching on the replay, let us know, and let us know where you are joining from, because we love to hear. So, Rich, talk to me.
Good morning or afternoon or everybody, globally, worldwide, whichever time scale you are in. Good morning, konnichiwa. and good morning to you, Abigail.
Lovely good morning.
Lovely, yes.
So exciting. So talk to me about cartoons and becoming a cartoon, and this being a cartoonist, even this being your business. Like, what inspired that? Were you just at school and you realized you could draw and you were like, right, that's it, I'm just gonna...
Yeah, well, I was born in the 70s, the late 70s, 77. I grew up as a child in the 80s when the cartoons were the best. I watched all the Donald Duck, the Mickey Mouse, the Disney, you name it, Ulysses, He-Man, Masters of the Universe, all the great cartoons that used to be drawn by hand. So as I'm drawing, as I'm talking, I'm also going to be using, this is my pad. So I didn't have this at school. I discovered this many years later. 2011, I left a very high-powered, stressful sales job in software sales, and which I loved, but it wasn't my calling. I picked up this pad, which is a box, which was a trick I learned from a successful London caricaturist, and it's got all the paper inside, it's got sleeves. So every time that I draw a picture for somebody, I draw a quick face of them. So if I was going to draw you in 30 seconds, this is the trick, right? If I was going to draw you in 30 seconds, then let's get this so that, there we go. So I would basically say, okay, let's get it right. Okay, so I draw a couple of eyes. Okay, big eyes for Abigail. Yeah. Okay, and then kind of like a nice pretty face. There we go. Now, obviously, I'm doing this almost like a children's drawing here. It's very difficult to draw on Zoom, with a periscope attached to my head and things like that. But here we go. Let's keep going around. Just draw a very quick one. There we go, so that people can see. And the aim is that the things that are big make them bigger, and the things that are small make them smaller. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that the things that are big are bigger. So basically, then, and that's for a caricature, which means that you're exaggerating the face. And obviously, then we finish off with your lovely Timothée, sort of long, flowing blonde hair. That's it. Yeah, there we go. So we put all that in. There we go. And obviously then at a black and white gig, because then people then start saying, oh, can I have me, sell. What will happen then is I might not get these coloured marker pens, but if I did, I might get a nice yellow marker pen. And this is the sort of thing that I use for my studio, from photographs kind of pictures. So somebody will send me. I've just finished drawing for one of the biggest companies in Canary Wharf, that owns, basically, I won't say anymore because it's a special present. But I've just drawn a massive amount of people, like nearly 100 people.
Wow.
And it's all their staff. They all sent me their photographs, and they weren't drawn like this. They were drawn digitally in detail. So as you'll see, many of the examples on cartoonrich.com, obviously. So what I would do is I would add a little bit of colour. So let's try and do that again. This is really difficult. This is like driving a car backwards with a blindfold, whilst trying to eat a yogurt at the same time. It's really difficult. Okay, so here we go. And I would colour it in, obviously, much nicer than that. Okay, and then maybe we'll have a little bit of red for the lips. Okay, so a little bit of rouge. Here we go. Bonjour, madame, monsieur. Here we go. So we'll put this on here. Right, so there we go. A little bit of squeaky. There we go. Huh? Hey, there we go.
Amazing. Love it. So
Well,
you'd be like at an event or at a party, at a conference or something, and you'd be just wandering around drawing the people.
that's it. And as soon as I draw, and obviously I always make sure I don't leave people out. Some people will say, "Oh, can you draw me with my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my wife or whoever?" And then I'll say, "Oh, I don't do doubles, love. You know, I only draw singles. I only got time for singles." And they're like, "Well, but I want to put it on the wall. I want to show, you know, we want to show that we love each other and, you know, putting us in a nice mood above the fireplace, you know." And so I will draw 3 or 4, 5, 6 people on a picture. I'll draw the whole table if they want, you know. So yeah, so I draw them in 2s and 3s normally, because otherwise, if they say, "Oh, can you draw all 25 of our team?" You know, then obviously other people in the room don't get to have a go.
Hmm. So you've obviously learned how to do this over time.
I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I have come to be, obviously, a caricaturist always has a big head, you know, and a little body, you know. But basically, I've been doing this for 10 years. I would say I am one of the top in the country. You know, I've become a lot of the agents' choices, the entertainment agents' choices, and I've been booked by all the biggest companies: Ford, PepsiCo, Casio, you name it. Yeah. So
Wow, amazing. So tell us, what are the basic principles of a good cartoon then, or
okay,
of a
well,
good illustration?
talking to you, I'm now not going to try this whole driving backwards thing. I'm going to just look at you, look at the
Yeah, let's have a conversation.
and I'm going to draw something a little bit nicer as well by the end of the show. Okay, so
Okay.
What was the last question you asked me? Sorry.
So what are the basic principles of a good cartoon or a good illustration?
Oh well, basically that the customer says, "Wow, I love that. That is everything that I wanted in that picture is everything that you've given me." And that's a bit like, you know, selling anything. You know, if the customer's dissatisfied, you're not going to get a good review. They're not going to come back to you. So what I try to do with the picture is I try to engage with my customer on an emotional level. I try to get into what it is that's going to pull their heartstrings, what it is that they want. So, for example, a lot of people ask me to draw their pets. They ask me to draw their dogs. And so I will, you know, or cats or whatever, and I'll just try and get it. So they look at it, say, "Oh yeah, that's Rover, that's him. Oh, you know, oh, he looks just like him," you know. And I try and that's what I try and do, is that the picture, and then people then say, "Well, can you do one of those for me?" And it's just, that's what my website cartoonrich.com is full of. Is just full of picture after picture that I've done for customers, and some are of cars, some are of horses, some are of staff, it could be anybody, you know. But it's always got that
Amazing.
emotion, sort of, yes, Cartoon Rich went the extra mile for me, you know. That I mean, I had to work since last Thursday to get this picture with nearly 100 people on. I've had to work non-stop since last Thursday, 9 till midnight every day, and I still haven't had a day off. So, you know.
Wow, that's dedication. So what would you say technology has done for you, from the point of view of how, like over the last 10 years, how you used to do things and then how you do things now? And then obviously we try technology and then we change because maybe we like it the way it was. So how has technology...
Got your hair looking a little bit more graceful there. There we go.
Perfect, thank you. How has technology changed how you do things then?
Well, technology, what I would simply say is this one magic word for me. This is a big plug for Apple here, okay? Obviously, I'm talking to you on my iPad Pro, but I would just point my little magic wand, woo, like that. I'd point that at the camera, and that is the Apple Pencil.
Oh, amazing.
Now, for a little investment of £100 or whatever it is that Apple charged me, I have basically done a whole array of very detailed digital artwork, basically. This is artwork that can look like paintings. It can look like it's been done with watercolors. It can look like it's been done with pastels.
Wow.
You know.
So did you have to go and sort of do separate courses and study and learn how to do this?
I'm kind of one of them people where I'm actually watching a movie at the moment called American Animals. And this is an underrated movie of a year or so ago. And this is about some young students that were really bored in their lives. They were so angry, a bit like lockdown. They were really angry with their lives, and they wanted to get out there and do something that was going to mean something in their lives. And so then they had a crazy idea. They decided to break the rules and steal a book from a library, which was worth $12 million.
Wow.
And this book contained every bird in existence that a man had gone off into the wilderness and painted in his spare time in the 1800s. And so in order to learn all that, they went on YouTube videos and they self-taught themselves how to do the perfect bank heist, which is not good, children. Don't try that. Put your money in the bank, put your money in the piggy bank, and don't watch anything to do with bank heists, all right? You'll end up in prison. But it's a good way to think about how people that do bank heists are very clever people, and the way that they teach themselves to pull off the perfect job, whether it's Val Kilmer Heat, whatever bank heist movie you're watching, they always do the homework. And the modern day people will watch YouTube videos.
Amazing. So basically, YouTube taught you how to use it. And so this is one of the things that I'm always saying to people who say, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. You don't necessarily have to go do a course and spend years. You can watch YouTube videos, but you'd have to be mindful of your time and not to go down the black hole, the YouTube black hole, where you end up watching a ton of other stuff, which is just really, really distracting and not good from a productivity point of view. So I can see we've got a couple of my international friends joining us today. We've got Amsterdam in the house and Germany in the house as well. And Karim is just saying she really envies anyone who has artistic talent. Me too. It's definitely, something I'm working on. During lockdown, I think I've realized I am creative, but in my own way. So photography has more been my thing this year, but I'll leave the drawing to you then, Rich.
Yeah, well, I've a little bit of progress. I haven't put your eyes in yet. I mean, part of the process is that I work from outside to in, because if you work from inside to out and somebody's got a massive hat on, then you might run out of space. But what I'm doing is I'm doing a caricature process, which is called Magic 6.
Ah.
So what happens is that everybody, no matter what it is, some people might have very bushy eyebrows, some people might have really small eyes, some people might have big eyes, some people have a small nose, big lips, whatever, big ears, and whatever it is, big or small, medium or sized, each of those 6 parts is a magic part of the face. So that's the top of the head, the cranium where the brain sits, the eyebrow bone, like the caveman, and then the nose, the eyes, which forms a magic triangle, and that could be long or short, and then the round area, the magic circle round area of the mouth, the cheek muscles, and it's all those 6 parts that make up the decision you make as to how you're going to get the lightness on the face.
Amazing.
So I've gone and I've measured all 6 of those on yours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, top to bottom, and I'm about to add the 6, which is the magic triangle, which is the eyes. So that's your nose and your eyes form a magic triangle. Okay.
Awesome. Love it. It's so great to learn this because and as I said, it's never too late to learn new things either. So how's the pandemic then changed how you do business from the point of view of going to events and doing this in person? Have you sort of found yourself moving more things to online? Have you been pivoting stuff? What's happened in your world this year?
Well, like the first thing is obviously you can see I'm a very jolly, happy person, yeah, and I don't want to take away my sincerity from the seriousness of what has happened this year to a lot of people. I thank God that I'm still alive, and I thank God that my parents and my family are still alive. But I know that for me or anybody, if we don't follow with the rules, anything could change at any time. This really is a bit of a lottery, yeah. And, so I don't want to make any jokes about that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what the pandemic has done to my business, like many people's, it's completely collapsed it. You know, and it's been a very unsettling and worrying time. basically towards, if I was to give you a direct answer as to how it's affected me,
Mm.
basically towards the end of last year, I was looking to do more advertising on Facebook, and I was looking to focus on what my customer wants. And I get a lot of weddings, lots of brides, lots of people getting married, and I will offer them a wedding package where I come to their wedding and I draw all the guests, and we all have a good fun time. So I had put an advertisement out, which was a video of me sort of going around doing the funny drawings and lots of guests at weddings. And I'd made it all look nice and pink, and said, okay, this is the wedding package. And I was fully booked to the rafters.
Wow.
I was booked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was booked every day of the week almost. And then it came to February, and I was like, how am I going to cope with how successful my advertising campaign has been? I would put this Facebook boost out, and I would be getting 15 inquiries a day.
Wow.
And I'd be closing 2 or 3 a day, and I only need to close Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I've got my weddings that people don't really get married on a Monday.
Yeah.
So yes, ultimately it was just like, okay, and then February, March, bang, Boris comes on the TV. I'm sorry, there's a problem. There's a virus. Nobody knows what it is. You've got to be careful. Maybe you should wear a mask. February, March, this is all a bit serious. Queues outside Tesco's. And then all of a sudden, bang, March. Hello, this is the bride here. My wedding's cancelled. And literally then call after call after call.
Yeah. Wow.
My entire. I mean, I'll show you. I'm very old school. I don't know if I can find it quickly enough, but I have.
So this is what's happened. So we've had quite a number of guests on over the show talking about all of this.
Every single one is cancelled. Every single one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you do? How did you sort of move forward? So we're on episode 95. We've had a huge number of guests. Sort of, this has happened to every single one of them, including myself. So how did you turn your ship around? And obviously,
how did I turn it around? Well, sorry, I'm not very focused. Part of it is, you see, because I haven't had many friends in this crisis, you see. So, instead of talking to myself, I've had to have various different friends, So, no, seriously, what I did was I changed and I said, okay, what is? Let's look at it like this. This is what I would do, because I think the main thing that's happened here. This is why I've decided to launch a sales training program powered by Cartoonists. Okay. What I would do is I would look at this. This is a magic triangle. Okay. And I would basically say, okay, this is P, this is O, and this is S. Problem, objective, solution. Okay. And I'd basically say, okay, how can you look at what the problems are? And before you look at the objectives, because you don't know what you've got to do yet to solve this massive problem, what can you visualize as the solutions? Now, this is old-fashioned success training or whatever, which I've read in many books, but ultimately it would be that, okay, in order to get to the success, okay, we need a vaccine, we need to get out of this pandemic, we need to watch the hand, space, face, all that type of stuff. That's the problems, objectives, solutions of us all being careful and getting out of this and not hugging our granny, etc. Right? But as far as business is concerned, it's simply, okay, our sales have gone through the floor. Yeah, we've dropped all these sales. How do we pivot and get to the solution, which is sales going through the roof? Okay, or as I put it in this, sales going through the roof. Yeah,
love it.
And so, as simple as that, a cartoon to represent sales going through the roof. Is that I changed to say, like many people, how do we make this virtual? How do we move from live events where a lot of my weddings were not just events; they were actually at the NEC, the Excel, which has been turned into a hospital.
Conferences and things, yeah.
The conferences, meet and greet things. The events industry has been decimated by what's happened, and it was like, okay, how can we don't want to go virtual with this. This isn't fun. I'd much rather be sitting in a hotel or a room talking to you, or a conference room, and us having a proper conversation, and lots of other people there, for example. But we've all been forced onto these little cameras and all this type of stuff, into these little boxes. So it was like, okay, how can we make the best of that virtual experience? And ultimately, how can we switch our business model from a physical business model, which has become the problem, to solution, which is still having enough money to eat and pay the rent and keep our car payments up, which is that golden solution that people dream of. Some people are having nightmares about, but they're saying, give me the answer, how do I get more, how do I get my, I want sales through the roof. Yeah, right, okay. So that was it. And then it was a case of then very carefully and calmly writing down a set of scenarios and objectives as to what I could do. And that was where I ultimately said, okay, I need to stop dealing on Facebook as much and deal more on LinkedIn. I need to be dealing with more, Fortune 500 type of customers, the ones that are still able to pay and play, the ones that have still got offices open. I need to make sure that I'm drawing nice cartoon pretty pictures for more big decision makers that have got bigger budgets. And that ultimately what I'm giving them is not just some gimmick that they say, who is this guy? But it's more, for example, my most recent project was where I met you, Abigail. So that was the Shared Services Forum. And that came as a result of me connecting with VFairs, because I saw that vfairs.com was the way forward at the moment to virtual fairs. I then saw that Shared Services Forum were doing their big thing on VFair, using the VFairs technology. And I said, the one thing that happens whenever I go to a event is they say, okay, we've got 5 people tonight getting an award. They're going to get a glass award and they're going to hold the award. What could we do to give people awards instead of that? And so I just simply said to VFairs, what about if I was to draw your sales director, your managing director for the UK, which is Nick Brake, get in touch with him and buy some VFairs. And basically, said, what about if I drew a picture of you holding an Oscar? So I drew this picture of him holding an Oscar, but it was in the shape of the VFairs logo. So it looked like he'd won a VFairs award. So there was something in it for him. I put him on a red carpet in a tux with a bow tie, looking like he was a star, Clark Gable out of the 1940s Hollywood or something. Jared sweetheart, yeah. And then ultimately, he loved that, and as a result of that, the managing directors of the Shared Services Forum noticed that on his feed and said, "Can you do that for us?"
Fantastic.
And as a result of that, where you gave your special speech on your top secret 888 formula.
These guys know about the 888 formula. It's not a secret.
They know.
Yeah, everybody knows. It's been around the world. So I talk about the 888 formula all the time. So yeah, totally out there. But I love, thank you for sharing so much detail in your answer there, because I love to hear about how you overcame the hurdles, because this is one of the things that people will say, well, I don't know how to do this, I didn't know how to do that, what am I going to do next? So it's so awesome for you to sort of share the details of the steps that you went to sort of pivot yourself and pivot your business. Super excited to hear more about the cartoon sales training, and the guys in the comments are loving what you're doing, loving your website, and coming up with all sorts of business ideas for you as well, which is so cool. And that's sort of, I guess, the big thing with creativity is when people can see it in action, they can see how it could work and how it could go forward. So fantastic.
And that was the only reason I was showing that cartoon symbol, because there was a point in ancient history where we didn't actually write in words, we wrote in pictures. Okay. And that is ultimately what it is that so much of training, which again, top secret, but the 888 formula that everybody loves so much with what you do, it's been great to develop a set of simple symbols and cartoons just to help to put across what it is that how and why it is that what you do works. And that's the thing then is that then anybody can share in that creativity, because if they've got something that they want to put across, instead of having to put it across in reams and reams of pages of information, which people switch off and they don't get it and they weren't listening, if you can just put it into 3 little triangular sort of circles and say, okay, problem, objective, solution, no sales, good sales, excellent sales, whatever, pandemic disaster, business failure, business rebirth type of thing. You could put any massive complex issue into a set of simple cartoon symbols, and that is not my mind thinking of that solution. You and everybody else are the very clever people, but you've got your own form of intelligence, and all I do is just put the cartoons to it.
Amazing. And we had a graffiti artist on earlier this week, or earlier in the 12 Days of Christmas show. So he was sort of talking about where drawings have come from. So yeah, I love how it all is coming and linking up together. So Rich, it's been so amazing to have you on the show. Where can we find out more about you? Where can we connect with you?
Well, you heard all of this information from www.cartoonrich.com.
Amazing. Such an awesome website name. And to be able to get cartoonrich.com, I mean, well, you've been around for a few years. So for people new to starting businesses, lots of the good domain names are already gone. So yeah, really, really awesome. If you are just joining us, because I'm seeing a few people come in now, you will be able to catch up with this on the replay. Rich is finishing off his picture, so I'm going to tell you. So tomorrow on the show is me, you and me. We're going to be talking all about your future vision, and this is going to be linked to the 24 goal year program that I've told you about, that is coming and launching next week. So if you have seen on social media, DM me for the link to get on the wait list, or you can use this link here and you will find out all of the details when it goes live. So excited about that, because we are taking the 25-day reset program and we are rolling it out over 12 months, as we have been testing for the last 6 months and discovered that the results are just multiplied the more you do it. So I can see Rich has finished his picture. So I'm going to just change the screen so you can actually see Rich's picture there. 1 second. Bear with me, Rich. Okay. Here we go. There we go. So there's my amazing picture there. Rich, thank you so much. That's really, really cool.
That's my absolute pleasure, and I'm extremely grateful as well. And so is Fred. Say thanks, Fred. Okay. All right. So I am extremely grateful for the opportunity, and I am extremely grateful to anybody that's tuned. If anybody wants a phone number, my stuff is on the website. Get in touch. Thank you so much, and best of luck to everybody. Okay.
Amazing. Sorry, I think we just lost you a little bit there. So Rich was just saying, you can find all the details on cartoonrich.com.
Get in touch.
Guys.
I love you. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rich, for coming on the show today. Thank you to all of you for joining us live. If you're watching on the replay, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on today's episode. I look forward to also to seeing you tomorrow at 11 a.m. where we're going to spend time visualizing your 2021, what it is that you want to achieve next year. So until next time, stay safe, stay well, and keep washing your hands. Bye.